Moving right along to Section 2, From Light to Skin.
Now, to really understand the threat outlined in this investigation, we first have to look backward, all the way to humanity's origins in Genesis. Anger points out this completely fascinating Hebrew linguistic puzzle. Originally, Or, spelled with an aleph, meant light. We're talking pure energy, super high frequency. But after the fall in the Garden of Eden, God provides Or, spelled with an ayin, which translates to skin. In anger's framework, this wasn't just some moral failing, it was a literal drop in molecular frequency. Humanity literally fell out of a high-frequency spectrum straight into dense physical matter.
She calls this process dimensional condensation. By shifting into this heavy density, we effectively cloaked our original frequency. We basically traded garments of light for flesh and bone. And in doing so, the source claims, we lost that unmediated, high-definition communication we once shared with the divine, dropping down into a biological state that is ultimately governed by decay.
Which brings us to Section 3, the H3O2 biological battery. But here's where it gets really interesting. The theory suggests we aren't completely disconnected. The physical remnant of that original divine frequency, it supposedly still lives right inside us, as structured water. Inside our cells, water organizes into a fourth phase known as H3O2. The claim is that this is the literal living water. It's a hexagonal, liquid crystal lattice that actually carries a negative charge, basically creating the literal spark of life inside your nervous system.
Think about the stark contrast here between the regular water you drink from the tap and the crystal liquid actually operating inside your organic tissues. While your standard H2O is just a random, loose pile of molecules, H3O2 is a perfectly structured hexagonal honeycomb. It actively excludes toxins and functions exactly like a biological battery, which makes it incredibly sensitive to outside frequencies.
And because of that extreme sensitivity, it acts as a kind of water memory. Anger really emphasizes this warning. Since our H3O2 is essentially a biological hard drive running our bodies, it is inherently vulnerable. I mean, if it can hold a divine frequency, the logic goes that it can also be hacked, disrupted, or entirely recoded by artificial signals.